Hello there, dear viewer. I encourage you before the video starts to quickly go to my YouTube channel. I mean, you're already on it, so why not hit the subscribe button and hit this little bell button? You won't regret it, I promise. Watch the video. Hello there, everyone, and welcome back to P3D. Today we are back at London Heathrow in the brand new toy I have acquired. This is the Boeing 747, more specifically the PMDG 747, and oh boy, it is a amazing plane. I had picked it up the other day and I've just been messing around with it. I've not done a fully fledged flight with it yet, so it's going to be very exciting. So where are we off to today, you may ask? Well, if you haven't read the title already, today we are off to Philadelphia, and I know what you're thinking, Darren, the 747 doesn't fly to Philadelphia with British Airways. Well, apparently it does now. After scoping certain things, basically what happened was someone put in a flight request for this flight, and the aircraft type they requested was the 747. Now I was like, I don't think the 747 operates on that route, so I did look up the call sign, and apparently it now does. So the 747 apparently now operates to Philadelphia, which is where we are going to be flying today. We're on Vatsim, as you can see. We've got some traffic. There's a 747 up there, and there's a A320 up there, and it's going to be about a 7-hour flight, I would imagine. The headwinds across the Atlantic today are looking not bad, so we should make decent progress, hopefully. Now this is going to be my first big official flight with the 747, so if anything goes wrong, then you know why. So it's also my first time back on flight sim since I finished my exams, so big stuff happening, So let's just hop onto the flight deck and let's get ourselves to Philadelphia. Okay, and for the first time, welcome on board the 747 flight deck. Now, I would imagine it looks a little bit different from other flight decks you've seen, but in some areas it retains a lot of similarities. One of the similarities it doesn't retain, though, is the fact that there's 4 throttle levers instead of just 2. So that's a big change. Also all of this stuff, but it's practically the same thing. So we're just going to run through this, and hopefully my gut instinct is going to help me fly this thing. So, lights is always the first thing we'll do, so we'll turn the local light on and the nav light on. We'll leave strobe and wing off right now because it's daytime. Now we are due to depart in about an hour or so. This flight's scheduled departure time is 11:30. It's currently about 11:15 right now, so we've got a little bit of time to set things up and get all the passengers on board. We'll align the IRSs, so that's left, centre and right, like so, and we will turn all of the packs on. The recirc fans are on, Gasper is on, trim air is on, yaw dampers are on, and utility power is set on. Good. We can come down here into the FMC, and this FMC is practically the exact same FMC as you'll find on any of the Boeing aircraft, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 older variants. So what we'll do now is we'll enter our position. So we are at Heathrow, and we are at gate 563, and we will enter our IRS position like that. Obviously, as you all know, this isn't realistic align time. Just saves us sitting about for hours on end waiting for that to align. We'll go into our route now. Our origin airport is of course Heathrow, and our arrival airport is Philadelphia, so we will do K and then Philly, like so. Departing off of 09 right this morning, and our flight number, well, we're BAW or Speedbird 67 Victor, like so. Our departure out of 09 right, I believe it's going to be Compton. It'll be Compton 5 Juliet departure most likely, so we'll select that into there, and I will fill out this route quickly and I'll be back with you once I've finished filling out the route. Okay, and we have successfully entered the route into the FMC, so we'll hit the activate button and execute. and you'll see that line now becomes pink as the route has now been entered. So we will now go on to the perf initialization page. We'll enter the 0 fuel weight. Reserves are 2.0 today. Apparently there's some bad choppy weather up in Philadelphia right now. That may clear, but we're taking a bit extra with us than we normally would, just in case of delays if there's any ATC on. Cruising at 36,000 initially today. Unavailable next altitude. That might just be because of our... okay, that's fine. That doesn't really matter. We can ignore that. Takeoff will take flaps 10 and take those V speeds. Runway condition is dry, and we will take thrust limit. Well, take 39, and we'll do. There we go. That should be fine actually. 1.65. Okay. Yes, that should work. So there we go. Put those takeoff speeds back in, and our transition altitude is 6,000, like so. And no speed restrictions other than, I would say, maybe 240 by 10,000. So apart from that, I think that should be fine. Execute that. There we go. Okay, so that seems the FMC has been successfully set up. I don't know if there's anyone actually still here at Heathrow. Did they all leave? There's no ATC on anyway, so hopefully someone might come on a bit later. We'll just have to wait and see. We'll turn the flight directors on as well while we're at it, and we'll quickly just go through the MCP saves. I was doing it just before we're about to start. So V2 is 164, heading is 90, or is it 91? I can never remember. 90, yeah, I think it's 91, and we'll set altitude for transition and arm LNAV and VNAV. Right, let's go outside and watch the bags being put on board, shall we? Okay, and our cargo boxes with the lovely BA logos are now being put onto the aircraft. A lot of crates today, a lot of cargo being put on today by Bill and Bob. Let's go with Bill and Bob, I like those names, Bill and Bob. Yep, cargo is being loaded nicely, and there's apparently no one here, no one wants to get on the plane. Where is everyone? There's no one. Let me just jump inside the cabin. Yeah, everyone's ran away. Oh, that can't be good for sales, can it? We've got the doors open. Yeah, the doors are open. Oh, must just be a bad day for flight. Maybe a lot of people haven't bought their tickets. Silly people. They're all held up at the bar, as a lot of people tend to be. But yes, all the cargo is being put on boards now. That shouldn't take too long, and then we'll start up the APU and we'll get out of here. Turns out, to answer my question, yes, there is traffic at Heathrow. There's one 777 Speedbird 15 is up there, but I believe we're at right now. It's probably because it's quite early in the morning and it's a Monday, and you know, 11 o'clock on a Monday morning, I can sort of see why the traffic might be a little bit low, but never. What? I'm not the only one that's noticing that there's two baggage handlers, right? Bill and Bob II are conflicting with. Do you know, it's probably because I had to reload my P3D. If I'm being honest, I had to reload my P3D just to prevent my computer from dying. So while I was reloading my P3D, obviously I didn't go do the catering again. I just loaded the boarding. That, yeah, that's probably why I answered my own question. This actually looks quite nice. I know a lot of people don't really like the PMDG interiors because it's like weird, but I kind of dig it. You know, it's sort of, it does look very British Airways. If you know what I'm talking about. If you've flown in British Airways, Club World or First, You might know what I'm meaning when I say it does look pretty British Airways style. And then I would imagine the jetway, I would imagine the jetway is somewhere up here. Yeah, there's the jetway. That's enough of the interior. But I will see you back on the flight deck when we're ready to power up the APU and get out of here. Okay, and we're just waiting. The last couple of bags are still being put on, but we're going to sort some stuff out on the flight deck just before we do all that. So first thing we're going to do is set parking brake, like so. And we're going to turn the seatbelt signs to on, like so. Auto brake is going to be set to RTO, and we'll set TCAS to 2000 since there's no ATC on. We will also set Unicom. However, I'm not going to turn it on just yet because there's probably people talking on it and it's distracting, so we'll set that up when we're in the air. And left VHF, and we'll turn on flight, like so. We'll come up here and we will turn on the APU, so APU on start, and I believe we can leave it like that for now. Parking brake and all that is set. How many bags have we still got to put on? I think it might just be 1 or 2 bags. Oh, no, I think that's actually it. So I will come back to you once all the ground equipment is cleared and we are ready to push back. Okay, and we are ready to go. The pushback guys are setting up below us, and we are actually just now coming on to APU power. Everything's getting a bit rushed. So we'll actually disconnect all of our ground connections, like so. Beacon can come down so we'll let him know we're ready, and we will turn the packs off, and we will turn the fuel pumps on, like so, and we will turn on continuous. We're going to be running an auto start today, and make sure hydraulic pump 4 is on auxiliary. Like so. They're locking the gear into place, and the doors are set to automatic, APU is running, seatbelts on, and all the brakes set to RTO. Okay, they've depleted their departure checks, so we're now going to replace parking brake. Now, this is going to be a little bit different from some of the taxis you may have seen, because this is done a little bit differently. So instead of going one at a time, what we do is we turn all of the fuel control switches on like this, and then we select our first engines, 1 and 4, pull out, like that. The lights will come on and they'll start up. So we are being pushed back in the wrong direction, it looks like.
We're now going to explain the emergency procedures on this British Airways aircraft.
And we can
the captain
taxi
and the crew are here for your safety.
Terminal 5.
It is important that you pay attention and follow instructions carefully.
I'm not actually too sure actually.
Check your seatbelt is
and we'll
securely
select the
fastened.
engine page on
Insert
this
the metal
as well.
tag into the buckle
The cabin
and
crew will
tighten
probably
by pulling on the
be
loose
starting
end.
their demonstration.
To unfasten, simply lift up the metal flap on the buckle
yes, it's like
and
a
pull
good
apart.
pushback, apart
You'll
from the
find
fact that we're in the
seatbelt
wrong
sign
direction.
in the panel
That's
above your head.
okay.
When it's on, you must
so
fasten
we've
your
got
seatbelt.
good
We'll provide extension seatbelts for
N1
infants.
rising,
We suggest you keep your
N2
seatbelt
rising,
fastened and visible during our
good
flight,
oil pressure,
even when the sign is off.
and
Your life jacket is
EGT's
either
rising.
beside
That's
or
going to start
underneath
coming
your
down.
seat.
Yep, good start
To
on
use
engine
it,
1 and
take
4,
it out of the
starting
container
engine
and place
2
it
and
over
3.
your head. Pass the tapes around your waist and tie them
And
securely in a double bow
I've
at your
got
side.
N1 rise,
Inflate your life
N2
jacket when you
rise,
leave
oil
the
pressure,
aircraft. We will supply life cots for
and
babies and life
waiting on
jackets for
EGT
children.
rising.
In the unlikely
EGT
event of the
rising.
aircraft having to make an emergency landing,
Good.
you'll be told to take this protective brace position. But when seated facing
this down
rearwards
for
in
the
front
taxi.
world, you must adopt this position. We will now explain how to leave the aircraft
while
in
we're on
an
this
emergency.
pushback, we can set this to
Move
TA
quickly
only.
to the closest usable exit, taking
so.
nothing with you. High-heeled shoes must be taken off as they may tear the evacuation
the
slide. Emergency
EGT is
lighting,
still
including
rising.
floor-level lighting, will
Wait
help
till
you
that gets
find
to
your way to
390
the
and then
exit.
that'll dip down, the cutout switches will come in. We'll set parking brakes.
There are 2 exits at
So,
the rear of the aircraft
and
and
we'll
2 at the
select
front of each cabin
flats
section.
10. That seems
Your
like it's
crew
a good
will now
start
point out the exits nearest to
on
you.
engine 2 and 3. Awesome. We'll select
To open
hydraulics
doors,
auto.
move the handle in the direction of the red arrow.
So, and we
Opening doors
will
automatically
pull down
inflates
the
the
APU
evacuation slides.
and
The
turn
slides
off
can
the
also
APU
be
bleed,
inflated by pulling this
and
handle.
we'll bring the packs
Jump
back
onto the slide
on.
and move away from the aircraft.
There we go.
If the aircraft has
And
landed
we'll
on
quickly
water,
just check
these
fuel,
slides detach to form
making sure
rafts.
crossfeeds are
As you
on.
leave the aircraft, inflate your life jackets by
Okay,
pulling the
yep,
red tag.
that's all good.
If necessary,
We'll switch
go
that to
into this
gears for now.
mouthpiece to top up the air. The life
And
jacket
that's
is
the tow
fitted
truck
with a light and a
disconnected.
whistle.
That's good, good, good. Okay,
Your oxygen mask
and
is
we
behind
can
the
put
panel
beacons
just above
onto
your
both.
head. If the cabin air system should fail, this will be released.
Okay, we've got no warning
Stay in your
lights,
seat and pull the mask
and
towards
we
you
will
to
turn that
open your supply.
continuous ignition switch
Please
off.
note that the bag does not inflate.
And
Place
I
it over your
believe
mouth and nose
we're all
and
good
adjust
to
the
go.
bag to secure it.
So
Then breathe normally.
we're waiting on the tow truck
Do
getting
make
out of the
sure
way,
your
but
own
other than
mask
that,
is correctly
flaps
fitted
are now
before
set
helping anyone
to
else.
10.
In some areas,
And
you release
everything
the mask by pulling on this coloured
looks
streamer.
good. So
If you're in a
we'll
club
taxi
rail
over to the
sleeper
active
seat,
runway, and I will
may
see
need
you
to reach
at
through the
09
dividing
right.
screen to retrieve your mask. All electronic devices, including mobile phones, must be switched off, and all headsets must be removed whenever the engines are running on the ground during takeoff, approach and landing. Please ensure your mobile phone and any devices that can send or receive calls or text messages remain off for the flight. Any items with a flight safe mode should have this feature enabled now. Some electronic devices can be used once we're airborne. Please check High Life magazine. Take care your hand baggage isn't blocking the aisles or exits. It must be put under the seat in front of you or in an overhead locker. But place items in the locker carefully, as they may fall and injure someone. As we prepare for takeoff, please make sure that your tray table is put away, your seat is upright and your armrest is down. Please stow your individual video screen and footstool if you have them. Finally, take a look at the safety card in the seat pocket. If you have any questions, please ask your crew. We hope you have a relaxed and enjoyable flight.
Okay, and we're now at the holding point for runway 09 right. Everything looks good. It's a nice day for a takeoff. So we'll switch TCAS to TARA. Cabin crew have already been down. Their safety demonstration is done. Bring the landing lights on now, and the strobe can come on, and we'll knock the wings on as well, just for fun. Everything else is looking good to go. We've got no warnings or anything of the sort, so we are good to depart. Looks like there's some traffic that might be landing on the runway behind us, so we'll just pull on and start clock. So we'll turn the parking brake off, and we'll slowly begin to taxi on to the runway. It's quite busy, not busy, what am I saying, quite quiet, as you just saw, but I believe we're the only one in line for takeoff. I think the rest are still muddling about inside the cockpit of the plane. The good news also, rudders are expected to come up in the next couple of days. Finally, it's been an absolute nightmare getting a hold of some, but that's all done now, so hopefully next couple of days. It's just been probably the worst logistic issue I've ever had, in the history of ever. So that's all done and settled with now, so good news. So time till arrival, about 7 hours, and we'll get up here, and hopefully this should be a smooth departure. I'm a bit about that turn, so we may actually spread it out a bit until London 2D before taking the right hand turn, just to give us a little bit more spacing to get some more height, because that turn looks like it's going to be too sort of tight for us to manage, but we'll see. Okay, and we're now on the runway, and we will accelerate about 50% thrust, and toga, and we're riding on 164. Okay, 164, first set, hold, got a bit of a crosswind hitting us from the side, that's V1 and rotate. Okay, and that's positive rate of climb, gear up. Okay, and we'll try and hold this pitch. And that's passing now 1,000 feet. And we will begin the turn. Like so. Pitch nose down a little bit. Keeping a nice steady climb profile as we go through this turn. We'll bring flaps up to flaps 5. And we'll actually engage the autopilot and reduce that climb profile, and we'll bring flaps up and turn gear off, and that's pulling the throttles back, and auto brakes is off. And as we come around this corner, we'll begin the climb, or more so climb. Okay, and we're almost around this turn. That was a quick sort of throttle there. I find it quite strange how the engine sounds so vacant when, do you know what I mean? They just sound like they're sort of spooling, like borderline shutting down. Maybe it's just me. Right, let's actually take a direct, just so we're not in this turn forever. And let's take a direct to Compton. Execute that. There we go. The airport should be off to our right. There it is. All textured up. Nice, nice, nice. And we should probably have tuned Unicom. We'll do that now. There we go. So we're now tuned up onto Unicom and passing through now 4,000 feet. So that's all you've got to see for the departure. That was a nicely done departure, apart from us almost getting kicked off the runway by this crosswind, but hey ho, what can you do? No rudders. Couldn't really control it without dipping the wings, if you know what I mean. So what I'll do now is I'll continue this climb profile. I'm actually going to have to watch out for fuel imbalance, because once these sort of figures level out, we'll turn off the crossfeeds and they'll take from each of the tanks individually. Actually going to now engage LNAV as well, let that take over the climb profile. But until we are on the descent into Philadelphia, by all means enjoy the flight. descent into Philadelphia. Running at constantly about 5 FPS right now, good solid framework right here. And as you can see, the apocalypse is currently happening in Philadelphia. We've just passed through 10,000, and the passengers are not going to enjoy this. I can say that for sure. Oops. Let's dim the lights, there we go. So as you can see, all hell is raining over Philadelphia right now, and we are actually trying to get a proper descent profile, but that is proving difficult. High winds are reported at Philadelphia right now, so, and it's crazy. It's crazy. We're running decent fuel, fuel's not too bad, but this turbulence is, as you can see, severe. The aircraft is not liking this whatsoever, and we are still above the clouds. Hopefully we should be able to get through, but this is going to be very interesting. So the flight overall was okay. It's just recently, as we've been coming in, as I said in the intro, the weather at Philadelphia wasn't, forecast to be exactly amazing, but I wasn't expecting it to be this bad. But it looks like we've passed through the worst. I say that, we've not actually gone through into the cloud layer yet, so what has to come is remains to be seen. The cloud layer at Philadelphia is very low, visibility is supposed to be quite low as well, so whether or not we're going to hit this approach first time, I am not actually sure. We're just trying to decrease the range. We've got about 20 miles to run until we hit the localizer. From there we'll make a turn inwards. It's just about getting the right speed. So the plan is we're going to reduce down to 210, maybe a minute or so, once we start going for the clouds. I just want to see what the winds are going to be like. Currently it's actually looking like we've got a tailwind, but I literally just checked flight radar, which was showing aircraft landing on 09 right, so not sure what's going on there, but we may be landing into a tailwind, which, as you probably know if you're aviation wise, it's not a good idea. But hey ho, we're known for our I'm reading this right, we are at like 6,000 feet and we've still... Okay, so like I said, cloud layer pretty low. We're going to start seriously slowing it down now, get about 200. We are 14 nautical miles out, and we're going to bring in speed brake as well. See if we can get a slow down. See, when I'm looking down at the panels, the FPS is not so bad. It's when I look up that the frame rate just kills itself. But I can't really blame it, because we are going into oblivion. And I think we're honestly just skimming the clouds now. Once we get through, we should have a better idea of our bearings. But we will understand in a second. I turned the terrain radar off, probably not the brightest idea, but it was killing my FPS, or at least I think it was killing my FPS, I'm not actually quite sure. But yes, it's like I was saying also in the intro, it's starting to come into the sort of summer months now, so I'm going to start pumping through all these flight requests, and hopefully I should have most of them done. I am going in for surgery though pretty soon, so don't know how that's going to affect my upload schedule, but we shall see. Okay, that's about 10 nautical miles out. We'll bring the range down even more, and we'll actually bring the speed bug right down, and we'll bring in flaps 1. Can you see the ground? I can see rain. Can't quite see the ground yet. I'll bring in flaps 5. There we go, and we'll put this speed bug on flaps 5 setting there. We should be good to capture the localizer. I'll actually arm localizer, just so I don't forget. And we've got 8 miles to run now, passing through 4,000 feet, and we're doing well on speed, thanks to help from the speed brake. Okay, and we'll take the speed brake off, let the engine start to bring power back, and we're coming down 3,000. We'll actually level off this descent. I forgot we were controlling vertical descent. We'll bring that descent off because we want to pass through it. Yeah, we're okay. We're good. I still can't see the ground, however. So I don't expect to see the ground anytime soon anyway. So yep, we're still looking good. We got 5 miles to run before we start to make that turn. And heading selector is set. Seatbelt signs and all that sort of stuff. Auto brake is 2. Landing lights and all that good stuff is on. We'll leave the window wipers off for fear of death, just death by frame rate. 5 localizer, come on localizer, get us captured. We'll actually arm the speed brakes as well. That's what I was forgetting. First person to see the ground, let me know. Also, a lot of my cash has gone into this new toy, so that was a thing from the cabin, letting them know already. So I've not had the chance to get many new sceneries, so the one we're landing into today, Philadelphia, is actually freeware, so I'm going to leave a link for that in the description if you want to pick up some good freeware scenery. I don't think the jetways work though, that's will remain to be seen. I don't think I've tested it yet. It might not even work, we might be landing into dodgy, dodgy freeware, but who knows. I live in hope. 2 miles out. We're all good to be established. Is that the ground? I think that might be the ground. No, it's just more clouds. Okie dokie. Just checking. This is going well so far. 17 degrees, wow. Never had that luxury of temperature. Okay, and localizer is captured. We'll arm approach. And that's gonna start to bring it in. We should start to see the purple diamond on here as well. Yeah, glide slope's right there. Yep. Oh, glide slope captured already. Oh, geez, right. Let's drop the gear. And we'll bring in flaps 10 and decrease speed to 160. Right, so I still cannot see anything. That's land. There it is. That's land right there. Let's turn the terrain radar on just so we get an idea of what we're dealing with here.
Radio altimeter.
Okay. This might be an auto landing. We'll have to wait and see. But it is sort of starting to look that way. I can't see in front of me, so this probably is going to be an auto landing. Right. Yeah, it is a tailwind. Damn it. Or it could pass a crosswind. It could pass. Right, we are roughly about 10 miles out. We're still going for the descent. We'll bring in flaps 15. Or flaps 20. I stand corrected. And we'll decrease speed to the reference speed, which is 144. Final approach fix. And that's slowing us down now. I have... Yeah, there comes the rain. Okie dokie. That's 1,500. We'll bring down 5 mile radius. Okay, and flaps 25. And we'll finally bring in flaps 30. Let me see. There's Philadelphia, looking all nice and stuff. Okay, and we'll bring in flaps 30 as well, full flaps. Okay, so we are fully configured, flaps 30, speed checked, speed brakes armed, auto brake set 2, landing lights on, and gear down locked. Okay, we're all good to land. I might actually disconnect the autopilot at the last minute if I get a visual with the runway. If that's considered cheating.
1,000.
Okay, 1,000. I believe I can see the runway up ahead. That is the runway. Oh no, that's the other runway. There's our runway. Right. Is that a runway right there? I might just take... Yeah, sure, right, why not? I'll take control from here. Okie dokie. Just making slight adjustments. Winds... Almost nothing. Is that a truck? That looks like a truck. Oh, that must be a road. Okay, bringing it in now, watching that descent rate.
above.
Okay, thank you. Random.
Decide.
And we're landing.
50. 30.
Oh,
20.
flag. Oh!
10.
And we're floating it. Get down. There we go. And reverse. Okay. And we can store the reverses. Like so. Okay. We'll take a high-speed exit in front of us there. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Philadelphia. And I know what you're going to say, those clicking sounds. Yes, I know. Brothers, coming soon. It's like a... Okay. And we'll take this exit here. Turn off the landing lights. And now we actually have to find a place to park. Okay, flight directors can come off as well now. And start the APU. And strobe can come off and taxi lights can come on. Okie dokie, I think we're going to have to cross a runway. We'll turn off the weather radar now. And we'll turn... Oh, that's... don't want that. There we go, that's sort of... that'll work. Okay, so we're taking... I believe this is either November or Mike. I'm not too sure. We'll bring flaps up. And we'll bring in the speed brakes. I need to work out where it is I'm going. I believe this is where I'm going. So we'll pull ourselves round. We're looking for, I believe it's A16. Does anyone see A16? I personally don't. Right, what I'll do is I'll look on my charts and I will meet you at the gate. Parked up at the gate, so I'll check that we've got APU available, and we'll shut down engines 2 and 3, and we'll shut down engines 1 and 4, like so. We'll also come over here and turn off all these lights that we forgot to turn off earlier. And the beacon can come off, the warning light can come off, and we can bring the yaw dampers, they can come off, and the fuel pumps can also come off as well. The hydraulics, demand pumps, they can all come off as well. And that's it. Basically, we're in a pretty good shape. We'll also bring TCAS off as well and turn off that. And finally, without further ado, turn the seatbelt signs off. So let's go outside and let's have a look at all our stuff being taken off. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Philadelphia. That was an interesting flight, interesting approach, I must say. Obviously, this is freeware. This is Sunskyjets, guys, I believe it's called. I may be wrong in that. As you can see, the jetways doesn't work. But for what it is, you know, it is freeware, and it does look pretty good, you know. As far as I would list, obviously you've got these little things like that, and you know, it's not perfect, but it is for freeware. It's a bargain. I am quite interested to see what our cargo is going to be transformed into. Wow, UPS! Would you look at that? That is absolutely fantastic. Just what I wanted. It's like an early Christmas present, really. I'll tell you what's an early Christmas present. This thing, the PMDG 747. What can I say? It was an amazing aircraft to fly, and we will do many more flights in it. I can assure you of that. The jetway doesn't work, unfortunately, so it looks like the passengers are going to be jumping into the jetway to get off this flight. We didn't have a lot of fuel left, actually, so I would say we made pretty good fuel economics right there. But the cargo went off nonetheless. So be sure to tell me where you want me to see flight. I think I messed up every single part of that sentence. Make sure to tell me where you want to see me fly next. No, that still doesn't sound right. There's a link in the description. You can see where, or you can submit a flight request, and it basically just asks for your destination, aircraft type, call sign, all that sort of stuff. Don't worry if you don't know it, I'll fill it in for you if you don't know those bits. And if you want to shout out, put your name in. Whoever did this didn't put their name in, but I can tell you there's a lot of people that have put their names in. Some of the flight requests I have, I believe, the latest one I actually got in was yesterday, and it was for an Emirates flight, so that one will be coming up soon as I can figure out the airport you're trying to send me to is. I know there's one Philadelphia to Atlanta, Shannon to London. Oh god, there's loads. There's Hong Kong ones, there's ones from Paris, quite a lot from Dubai, and a lot from Heathrow as well. Don't worry, I know they're all there, I have marked them all, it's just a matter of getting sceneries for all of the airports. As you can tell, flight simming is expensive hobby. How did we do in the parking? We did very well in the parking. Let's see, is that right on the center line? Yeah, I'm going to give myself that. Good parking job, Darren, good parking job. But once again, I hope you enjoyed this flight. If you liked the video, please like it, and if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe and turn the notifications on. But until then, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.